Did you get it? Oh, here we go.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah.
There he is.
Good.
All right, we're streaming live.
Well, I already.
Hold on, let's make sure. I think we're in business. Oh, surprise! We've come out of the dark. Okay, I know that I've been silent for some time now, but I have to tell you, if you're joining us, been working on something pretty cool, and I'm really excited to share it with you. And I have a very, very special guest, someone who we've been talking since what, April, May,
Yeah.
probably April. Meet Mads.
Hi.
And Mads is doing some really cool things. Not only is he the creator of I Am Dyslexic, a short animated film that has almost 1 million views on YouTube.
Insane.
Mads is also a professional artist and a mentor. So Mads, please take a minute, introduce yourself. Oh, and sorry, before I forget, if you are joining us, I just want to know where you're from. Where are you watching us from? Mads, I'm telling you, it's the coolest thing. We have people watching us from all over the world. And the coolest part about this is community. So with that being said, Mads.
Well, I hope there will be more people from my part of the world as well, because I'm from Norway. And yeah, as you said, my name is Mads. I am an artist, and I have dyslexia and dyscalculia. And yeah, my passion is to share how it feels and create good learning strategies and inspire people through my art and my videos. And so far, it's been doing pretty well. And I'm grateful for that you have contacted me and want me to be on your team.
So tell me a little bit about how did you, like, what's your story? What is your story? Yeah, like what was it like in school? Because here's the thing, we have parents from all over the world watching this, and we're about to enter a holiday. And holidays for someone is with ADHD, with executive functioning challenges, I would dread it. Everyone was excited about it. I would become scared about it because why? No routine. So what was it like for you, I guess, around the holidays? And then we'll go back to you as a child.
Very good question. Christmas has been a very stressful time for me as a child because I have dyscalculia, which means I found time, especially countdown, to be a huge challenge. So I actually stressed myself out massively. My parents made this beautiful calendar every year. I really, really honored and appreciate that. But
a calendar,
yeah, package calendar.
Okay.
And I really loved it. But for me, I didn't understand how long it was until Christmas. And Christmas was this fantastic, beautiful day that everything was supposed to be the best thing ever. But I struggled so much seeing how long it was until that point that I really made myself sick because it was too stressful for me. So Christmas holiday has always been tiresome holiday for me. But I didn't mind being home from school because I rather not be in school.
Right.
But I relaxed much more after Christmas Day because then the hype day was over and there was no more countdown.
Right. So was that, because having the holidays, and for those of you watching, and again, happy Friday. Oh my God. I'm telling you, I have never experienced time like this in my life. All right. And if anyone else can agree with me, just let me know because I'm freaking out a little bit. What's going on? Okay. Happy Friday. Now, again, because I just think that we have this opportunity to just talk a little bit more about what was a moment when you had a breakdown? Like a breakdown of your, when you were out of routine. Was that hard for you when you were out of routine, or?
No, actually, I really, well, That's a good question. I like routines, and I realized that I had to have more routine. But any time pressure or time scheduling in any form stressed me out massively
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
because I was afraid that I was not allowed to be me. But I really needed that time frame. I have realized when I got older. But I'm very good at just also when I was a child to do my own thing.
Right.
So whenever I was able to just draw and play with my figurines and Legos, then time didn't matter to me. It only became a problem when I had to follow someone else's time, and especially school.
Right.
So as long as I was not within that time frame, it didn't matter to me.
Right. Right. So interesting. I remember when I was probably in sixth grade.
Hmm.
I mean, sixth grade was one of my lowest moments, and I want to just take a minute and just reflect on that, because we have this. When I was in sixth grade, we're filled with fear, anxiety, and stress, and having learning attention challenges. Learning becomes challenging, right? When we have these obstacles ahead of us, how can we create that willingness to learn? And I'll say, and this is kind of where it's going to tie into our mentorship, which we'll talk about in a minute, but you found art.
Yes,
At what moment did you realize that art was your outlet, was the thing you needed to build your confidence?
such a good question. It's I've always found myself too harsh. My parents used to give me this huge roll of paper that I put out through the whole living room, and I drawing non-stop on that the whole day, as for as long as the roll of paper was
Yeah.
available, you know. But it really clicked in my mind in the moment when I was diagnosed with dyslexia at the age of 11, because
Wow.
I realized, wow, okay, I apparently think differently than everyone else in my class, and whatever they are doing are not working for me. What do I need to do? Why do I need to do it differently? What do I do that apparently I enjoy and I feel that I get some sort of attention from? And the logical answer for me was, well, I'm always drawing. That's the only time that I actually get good grades or actually are looked at in a normal way. And I really enjoy it. I do it when I'm happy, I do it when I'm sad. I'm doing it all the time. Maybe this is something I can use. And then I started experimenting with taking notes, but as a drawing. It could be Donald Duck, it could be just random squirrel doodle. It didn't matter, because the next day or after the class, I could look at the picture and I remembered everything the teacher said.
Wait,
Because
what?
yeah, it's awesome. So to me, images is
Did
notes.
you draw that behind you?
Yeah, that's a concept art for my short film. So I realized that images is my way. For an example of that is recently my parents moved. We found loads of art on the attic. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember what happened that day, because the information to me was stored in the picture. So I had to then fight the teachers because they didn't want me to draw in class. But this was my way of learning. And I
Yes.
was so inspired because finally I had a key that could allow me to learn. And I just continued to like, okay, but how do I work? What is this dyslexia thing? So I started to do a lot of research on what is dyslexia? How does this work? Who am I within this label? And I continue to go experiment and evolve my learning, because one thing is acknowledging that, yes, I can draw, cool. How can I use it? And I realized there's so many ways that I can use visuals to learn myself information. For example, I can reblog or download other people's pictures as a diary while I listen to an audiobook. And I can, instead of listening to the audiobook, I'll go through the images and I remember the context of the tests. just
Oh,
looking at images. So I experimented more and more and more and more with this. And another example, I love Pokemon. Huge fan. What is
who's your
Pokemon?
favorite Pokemon?
Currently, I think it is Galarian Farfetch'd.
I have no idea who that is, but I'm sure they have epic powers.
A cool duck with a giant leak.
Who else has kids that likes Pokemon? I'm curious because I guess Pokemon's still happening.
Oh, dude, it's the 25th anniversary next year. It's huge.
Wow.
Very,
Shout out
very
to Laura. Laura just said that her kids like Pokemon, and she's like, really, thanks, Laura. Appreciate it.
yeah, Pokemon are the thing. But the thing with Pokemon, right? They have concepts that mean something. They have a specific design, and it's visual. So from Pokemon, I learned biology, English, math, because it had value to me and I could use it as a hook to teach me other things. So I experimented and I got them better at certain subjects because I used something that I was genuinely interested in.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you. Do you hear this? Do you guys hear this? I just want to take a minute and just like let's just like build upon this for a minute. Mads, you found something that is totally untraditional, that is you can't find in school. And you were like, I am actually really good. Okay, so this memorization thing with the art and then with the Pokemon and teaching myself math, reading, writing through the things that I'm good at. Dude. And can I tell you why? Can I tell you why that's amazing? Because if you think about it, we're only going to like the things that we're interested in. It's not that we can't learn. It's just that we have to be inspired, man. Right?
You hear it all the time, right? Oh, I don't like learning. Learning is boring. Learning is really fun when you can do something you are interested in and learn at the same time.
That is, and I'll tell you something. See my trainings behind me?
Yep.
Just like you, I learned how to read. I learned how to problem solve. I learned how to learning radius of the curves as a 12-year-old, teaching myself electrical engineering as a 12-year-old. Come on, on my IEPs, you saw if you saw it doesn't even make sense, but it does make every sense because it's what we're utilizing, what we're good at. That to me is awesome.
I wish there were more of that. And I think that's the future that needs to be realized.
Well, then let's segue into this for a minute. How
Yeah.
has mentorship, because for those of you watching, this is really cool. We run an organization called Superpower Consulting, which is designed to help kids literally with this build confidence around the way they learn through identifying unique strengths to then tackle their challenges. So Mads is one of our mentors, okay? And Mads can be works with kids all over the world because we're virtual. So Mads, how are you helping kids and what have you experienced in this process to help you either better reach kids, bond with the younger version of yourself, and just what's that experience like and what can you do for these kids?
Well, it's really fun because again, we are teamed up with the kids that has similar interests as the mentor, right? Meaning that I'm able to totally nerd out talking about subjects that I'm passionate about and this kid is passionate about. And it's so much fun because you can really see that they are appreciating and they are eager to talk about these things, but connected to more, learn more, and use this as a tool. Because I'm telling them, like, yeah, but this anime manga, for example, you can learn English through that.
Right.
How awesome is that? And you meet so obviously every client, every kid is different, and really you're really looking at a mirror in many ways and just realizing, wow, okay, I need to approach it differently because maybe we have a tendency maybe to think, oh, but I'm older, so I need to take this role. But that's not always the case because often these individuals are so advanced in how they perceive the world, right?
Incredible. It's incredible.
So it's mind-blowing sometimes to like, wow, okay, so you think like that. Well, then now I can share more because you are definitely on the same length as I am. And have the same questions and answers. And
So because look, you can relate to kids in ways that many may have a hard time with because you've been there.
yes,
You don't just say, I get you, man, but you can say, I've been there. I've actually experienced what you've been through. And look, we work with kids as early as 7 years old, right? And Laura just said that her 11-year-old is an aspiring archaeologist. Whoa, that's so cool. So here's the cool thing, right? Mads will help that your son, Laura, look at how do you take your strength like this interest in being an archaeologist and then translate that into maybe overcoming an obstacle in school. Power.
yeah,
So Mads, what have you learned about yourself though
through this
through this
mentorship program.
experience? Yeah.
Well, it sounds probably strange, but I realized that I was smarter as a kid than I thought because these kids are smarter than other people think that because they're talking about things that society thinks are not something that a 12-year-old will normally talk about.
Right.
But they are talking about all this amazing. I have better conversations with them than I have people on my own age. You know, that excites me. Excites me so much.
This is keep going. I'll keep going. Sorry. Continue.
It's I kind of lost my train of thought. What was the question?
That was completely my fault. No, the question was, what have you learned about yourself throughout
Yes,
this process, your journey?
it's again. I am allowed to be me because I it's so strange because while you're working with these people, you realize that wow, I'm actually talking to myself
Right.
in many ways. And me personally, I didn't have anyone like this, so I usually hid myself away. But I have the opportunity to help the little Mads, so to say, to shine and be proud. And you can feel it. You can feel it in their energy and their eyes that they are growing while you're talking to them.
Yeah.
Just from being acknowledged for who they are and what they are doing. It's so inspiring. I get so
Surreal.
happy.
It's actually surreal.
Yes, yes, it is.
And this brings a cool question, right? We always think of kids as kids, right? We hear like, oh, they're just kids or they're students. But I was reading somewhere where should we be teaching students to be students or should we be teaching students to become leaders? Right? To be the person that they want to be the archaeologist.
Because
I can
I
never.
have learned,
Yeah.
sorry, on that, I have learned so much about math and dinosaurs lately because one of my clients are so into that. And I didn't know all this stuff. So I'm learning a huge amount of math and size of dinosaurs from him, because he's my teacher in that sense.
Our
So
kids are our best teachers.
yes, they are. But then the question is, often our society, school, doesn't allow us to be because they need to be a certain way. It's often one-way communication, which is so sad.
Yeah. 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 So how do you envision school then? What can parents do to help their kids realize their potential or even in being in a school that maybe they can't leave? How can we better help our kids to build that confidence? I just, it's,
I have two answers to that.
I like
One,
to,
one answer is listen to the kid because they actually know more than we give them credit for. An example of this is a girl I met once. in my while I do public speaking, so I meet a lot of people. She told me, Mads, I know I learn when I'm with horses, but I'm not allowed to be with the horses because my parents doesn't want me to. What do I do? My answer to her was, well, you need to see how much of horses can you evolve your learning, so to say. Can you find books, games, videos about horses? Does it work? Can you be with other animals? You have to experiment. But also, you need to make sure that you are convincing and changing your mind, changing your parents' minds. Because if you are so adamant about this is my thing, you need to do it somehow, in some way. If that means that you need to do whatever in order to convince your parents, do it. Because that is taking responsibility of your own learning. And which goes really back to what I said in the beginning, that you need to, what can parents do? Listen, and help the students taste. What do I mean about that? What kid taste? If they don't know what they like to do, we need to try out. Try swimming, try drawing, try climbing, to see what the student enjoy, right? And it can be as simple as spending the time with the parent and playing some video games. And that's exactly everything that the child needs. It's different for every child, obviously. But it's environment that a child can flourish. Again, an example, I know a guy, he struggled so much in school. And he ended up doing karate after trying out different things. And suddenly his grades jumped three stages because he found confidence. He found techniques through karate, which completely transformed how his parents, his teachers, and himself looked at the situation. And I often say to parents when we talk about this thing is that we need to make sure that the child feels safe to share their interests with you, because many of them are sadly, they don't feel safe, so they will tell you what you want to hear and not what they feel. And it's hard to understand, but they need to be confident before they will talk to you. So important. Listen, because these children are much smarter than we give them credit for. But technically, all they want is being acknowledged, and they want to be loved. Okay? And if that means that they need to say what you want to hear rather than what they want, many choose that opinion instead, or that option.
And I'll say that is so powerful. That is so powerful. I'll add to that where we want our kids to feel that they can take on anything that they dream. And while a dream is only a dream, you want our kids to learn that when you have an obstacle in front of you, it's okay to overcome it. And it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. It's so easy to want to protect and want to not have our kids. And I've seen this with a lot of parents that we work with, that the way they were raised having ADHD or dyslexia impacted the way that they parent. And sometimes in a negative way, where they want to protect their kids from the pain that they experienced as kids. So the question is, and as parents, we have to, I mean, I say we, I'm not a parent yet. So I'm saying we as a collective, we're coming from this really cool angle of our kids' perspective. But really what we're going at here from this angle is that we have to start looking from a new perspective. That's really the end of the day. And it's so important that we do that. Because
change lives. and save lives.
It really will. And I think that we need to all take a hard look in the mirror. All of us, parents, kids, but really parents, because their parents are the leaders right now in the household. How is your parenting impacting? Is your parenting impacting the way you're parenting as a trigger from when you were a child, from when you were younger?
I like this metaphor. Your child is a mirror of you because you are a mirror of your own parent. And the things you didn't like about your own parents, you're most likely to do to your own children. So you need to sit, you can reflect yourself a lot in your children.
Brilliant. I think that's so true. Okay, let's take a step out. First of all, if you have any questions, if you're watching this, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. This is such a great opportunity. I always say, if you were to look in the future, if you were to ask your kids any question right now, what would you want to know? Because we've been there. Mads and I have been there. We felt the pain, right? We've been misunderstood. We felt isolated, and we all learn differently. Okay, so please don't hesitate to ask. There's a little bit of a delay, so I'll do my best to answer your questions. In the meantime, as I said before, if you're new watching this, I would love for you to have an opportunity to see some of Mads's work. Mads is the producer. He created a movie called I Am Dyslexic, and you can see it on YouTube. It has almost 1 million views.
It's insane, dude.
It's insane. Can we watch the trailer? Can we watch the trailer?
I can bring it up, or do you have it?
Okay, so while you find that, Laura asked, how is the pandemic affecting mentoring? Such a great question. So I think we could do 2 prongs. I'll answer it, and then Mads can definitely answer it as well. Here's the thing. Our kids are home. They're not in school. And if they're in school, we don't know how long they're going to be in school for. They could be in, they could be out. Lack of consistency is destructive for kids, right? So mentorship is designed to tackle the social emotional side of learning, Laura, where we can teach a kid all we want how to read. We can at least try to, but if they're not emotionally open and ready to want to learn, is it really paying off? So, and that's something that we've experienced as kids. We can put all the resources in the world to wanting to help our kids succeed academically, but if they're not open to it, it's not going to work. So the mentorship here, Laura, is designed to help our kids navigate this uncertain time. And then this is going to help us learn we'll communicate how we're reaching your kids to you as the parents, to better than parent your kids, because we're not mom and dad, right? What do you think, Mads?
I think you said it perfectly.
Thanks. I try to get as straightforward as I can. Okay, let's see this trailer. I'm excited. Don't forget to share your sound.
You have it, right?
Oh, do you want me to share it?
Okay, yeah, I can have it. Okay, yeah. I thought you were going to do it.
Oh,
okay.
I can do it. Here, I'll do it. That's fine. Let's see. Matt, is there anything else that you want to mention while I pull this up?
I could talk a little bit about the film. So this film is my bachelor film. What I made. The reason why I wanted to make this film was to share how I felt through school. So I could give it to other individuals with dyslexia or other learning differences, as I like to call it, for them to share to people who do not understand how this feels. Because there's so much focus on this is what it is, dung, dung, dung. But how does it feel? So this film aims to portray how it may feel. Oops. And it has had a huge impact so far, been used all over the world in school as a learning tool. And I'm so grateful for everyone who worked on this film. I'm so grateful for everyone who have sent me so many messages saying that this film have helped them. So this is a trailer of the film.
Let's share my sound here. Ready to rock?
Yes. So, 'cause 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 '
Oh my goodness. Can we just keep watching? Let's go.
I'll watch the whole film, dude, if you want to.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so tell me about what we just watched. I feel like it was so short. I want to watch it one more time.
So this film is about a little boy that actually are based on my own story, but it's really everyone's story. And we started in the school, in the classroom, and he ends up falling into a world made out of books. We really represent the school system, but also all the books that he never was able to go through in his school life. And we watch him climb this mountain and grow and live in this mountain to overcome his uh, challenges. That's a synopsis for you right there.
So good. And you're telling me that you created the whole thing. Like you actually you drew the whole thing.
So the story about this was in the second year of my bachelor. We started to think about what kind of third-year movie we're going to make, because that's the tradition of that school. So I was thinking, yeah, maybe I can just work on someone else's film. But then I realized, what if I make a film about how I felt throughout school? So I started with different ideas, very much close to my own story. But the more and more I worked on it, it became more and more other people's story. But the 3 months between second year and third year, I was supposed to write a script. I was not able to write that script because I freaked out, unable to write anything down. So when I went back after those 3 months, I was so sure that I'm not going to make this film, because I was totally broken, totally stressed out. So the teacher was like, no, you have such a good idea. You need to make this film. I was like, nah, it's not gonna happen. But I had a friend that helped me my first year of animation with an essay. She understood how I was working and how my mind worked. So she told me, Matt, you have 10 minutes, tell me everything you have in your mind. And I kind of word vomited out all my ideas. I wanted to have a boy being on a mountain and then grows paper out of his face. And after 5 minutes, I had it all out. All I needed was a way for me to explain it that wasn't written down. After that, I've never written something as fast as after that. And then I made this picture you see here and a few other pictures. Went up on the stage 2 days afterwards and said, I'm going to make a film about how it feels to be dyslexic in today's society. And I got green lit, and suddenly now I was supposed to make a film about how this is. And then I had had a team with me. So my co-director and co-producer, Katie Wyman, we did this together. It was in the beginning very close to my story, but where do you think everyone with dyslexia, ADHD, and autism and so on went to? It went to our film. And together, we really put in this feeling to create this film. And not only to make a film, we made a safe environment to share our feelings and knowledge about all of this. And by the end of the year, we made this film, and I put my heart and soul into this.
No, I feel it, man. You know.
Best thing though is that many of the people that worked with me, they said thank you, because you showed me a way that dyslexia can be good as well. And right quickly afterwards, we won a lot of prizes. The film has been to more countries than I have been to, and it won several awards. Now it kind of lives by its own thing, you know. It has its own life.
Wow.
That's a story.
That's amazing. We'll have to figure out how we can somehow share it. How can people watch it?
Well, it's very straightforward actually. You can write I am dyslexic either on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and it should be one of the first things that shows up, at least on YouTube.
So I would love to somehow show it to our work, to the community somehow. We have to figure out, we'll have to, we'll have to figure out what we can do. But I just want to, before we wrap up here, Mads, you're changing lives. You're actually changing lives. Ooh, I'm blurry now. Come back. Well, that's really annoying. Hold on. There we go. I can't. I'm out of focus. Mads, thank you so much for what you do. And if you do have any questions, if you're watching this with any questions, please don't hesitate to just reach out to us, ask if you're interested in Mads working with your kids. Mads can actually work with your kids, and it's virtual. It can be anywhere in the world, as long as it's not too late. Because what time is it over there?
Right now it's almost 9.
Oh, that's not so bad. All right.
No,
well, it's almost 3 o'clock here. So if you are interested in Mads working with your kids, please, you can reach out to me personally. You can reach out to Mads, whatever that is. We are here for you. But Mads, is there any like departing thoughts you have for our parents watching?
I can say, listen to your kid. It's very important. Feel free to watch my content. I make art. I make more videos about all of this on all social media. But if anything, listen and observe. I think it's very important.
Yes.
Allow them to try and fail, really. I think it's very, very important.
Wow. The wise words of Mads. Really. Thank you so much, Mads. Really. Okay. I want you to have a wonderful evening. We'll definitely have you back. Thank you for showing the film. Again, if you want to see I Am Dyslexic, just check it out on YouTube. It will just make sure you have some tissues next to you. It's very powerful. And Mads, thanks again for joining us, man.
Thank you, my friend.
Take care. Bye, everybody.